Everybody, welcome back to the channel. So, the stock market sold off quite aggressively today, especially the Dow Jones, because of the recent news of escalations in the Middle East. In today's video, we're going to discuss exactly how that's going to affect the overall market. And I'm also going to be sharing with y'all some plays to keep your eyes out for tomorrow. Right now, let's dive into the charts. Right off the bat, we got the NASDAQ futures. And so far, again, the Bears are still in control. In the morning, bad news occurred. And then we had this nasty sell off at like 3 a.m. all the way until 6 a.m. It ended up opening up a little bit higher above 29,000, but it tried to retest that low, this level of support in the middle of the trading day before ultimately bouncing after 11 a.m. and into the close. All right, now something that y'all should be keeping in mind, y'all remember how I told you that the breakdown was a little bit sloppy right here? This breakdown, right? The Bears got what they wanted, which was a close under this line. Okay, and then today the Bears got what they want again, which is another close under the line. So as long as it stays under 29,500, the Bears still have hope for the market to fall off. Essentially, like there's still potential for us to see another sell-off, an even bigger sell-off than what we've seen overnight. All right, so keep your eyes out for that. The breakdown already occurred. All they gotta do is just hold that level before ultimately collapsing down to 28,000. Unless something changed on the 4 hour or the daily, I'm not changing my opinions on this one. Now, if we take a look at the other indices, let's check out the SPY. Right, so this is the SPY. And this one is telling a similar story, but the NASDAQ is ahead. So we have this line of support right here. The structure is a lot bigger than that of the NASDAQ, but the perspective is still bearish, right? The SPY is making lower highs and higher lows. And eventually that bottom line right here is going to have to get tested again. And I believe the third time it gets tested is actually going to break it. And then we're going to see a whole lot of panic in the market, right? So as of right now, again, I told y'all the Bears are still in control of this one. Now let's look at the Dow Jones because that one sold off the most. So this is the Dow Jones. It had a recent all-time high of 53. Let me see here. 52,600. That's what the futures say right here on the side, right? So it hit that level and then sold off overnight, and now all of the Bears are in control. The situation is not looking great. The situation is really not looking great. And this gap right here, I'm not sure if it's truly valid or if it's one of those, or if this entire chart is associated with that specific futures contract. Let me see. DIA, okay, DIAS, it has a gap at the bottom right here, which got filled on the 23rd. And then the bottom one at 509 got filled as well. But still, there's all that room at the bottom. And I think we're gonna continue downward. Okay. Will we take care of this problem first before we head downward? Maybe. All right. But that's my thoughts on it. Now, let's check out the stock for tomorrow, which should provide a wonderful opportunity again. And it's the same stock as the last video, BE. Right? And for those of y'all who missed yesterday's video, I gave y'all a warning. I gave y'all clear instructions. I told y'all to have an alert right at 261 and wait for this thing to actually break down, right? So it was looking like this yesterday. And I told y'all set an alert right here. And then today it opened slightly lower, but the important play to look for was what happens right there, right? So we have the bearish, we have a descending triangle, but this time on the 5-minute chart that occurred right here. And that provided a day trading opportunity from 257 all the way down to 243 right here. And it even went even lower later on during the day, and it went as low as $235. So the opportunity was there, and if you were able to capture that move, congratulations. In this video, I'm telling you that there is more money to be made, because what's really important and what really matters is the bigger perspective, this right there. All right, and I think it's going to go lower. I think it's going to drop. The gap at the bottom right here all the way down to 226 is going to get filled, and even the one out here at 176, that's it's going to get there eventually, especially when the market starts to give out, and especially if we start seeing more bad news about what's going on in the Middle East and the straight up moves and the tension and all of that. All right, so just be on the lookout for that bearish opportunity. Now the next one that we got to look at is this. We're going to take a look at one of the Max 7 stocks, Microsoft. And I want to talk about Microsoft because it looks kind of sloppy and it's extremely difficult to read. But the title of last video was that there was a rotation happening between the AI stocks, the semi stocks, and the Max 7, right? And that rotation have been going on, but it's not as money's not really flowing into, especially this one, Microsoft. It's not really flowing into it like I thought it would, or like I think it should, right? But so far, what I see here, the bulls are in control of it, definitely, right? That's the first step. But what I see, especially on your 1 hour, is I see a reverse head and shoulders. We got the left shoulder, we got the head, and then we got the right shoulder, followed by the neckline. Right? So we have that neckline right there. And then we have the break of the neckline, followed by 1 retest, 2 retests, and then today we're seeing a 3rd retest once more. All right. Depending on how we open, there's going to be a massive move afterwards, right? Again, the keyword, depending on how we open. Because Microsoft is so oversold, especially on the daily charts, right? And because it has left so many gaps above, especially the one at like 460 and the one all the way up to 481, and also because of that rotation that we're seeing, there is potential on here for a bullish move. Right? My perspective on Microsoft and the Max 7 is bullish until everything decides to fall together all at once, right? So I don't know exactly when this rotation is going to be over, but that's my thesis for now, right? So watch Microsoft and see how it opens. If it opens up at like 386, then watch for the move all the way up to 400 on that specific day. All right, expect something like this. Now the next one that we gotta look at is another Max 7 stock, which is Apple. And Apple is showing dojis, is fighting to stay at the top. And like I said before, with the rotation, if all Max 7 turn out to be bullish and we see the high beta stocks collapse, right, the money flowing from those into the Max 7, then Apple actually might make a new high very soon. Like having a lit right here at 317 and then watch it for a day trading opportunity. Some may say that there was one today intraday. Yes, there was, but it looks really, really sloppy and a bit difficult to read. Like I see it, I can plot it right here, right? I see it. I saw it in the middle of the day. I didn't take it because I just hated these imperfections. And I also hated the ambiguity between not just the stock, but also the indices at that specific point in time, right? Like I saw this one and I also saw NVIDIA. I just could not fully I just could not fully trust it at that specific time. Again, the indices were a bit out of whack. I saw it, and the volume was kind of trash, which is another reason why I hesitated so much. Like, I didn't take this at all. I saw it, and I just couldn't trust it. Ultimately, it went all the way up to where it should. Um, but this is NVIDIA, and this is part of the semis, and this could be negatively impacted by the rotation from the semis into the other Max 7 stocks. Now, the last stock or the last sector that we got to look at is oil. Oxy is what we're going to look at. And because of all the bad news that's happening in the Middle East, this one has been pushing quite aggressively. We have the ascending triangle break that happened yesterday at 50, and we have the push all the way up to $55 today. On a bigger time scale, it looks like it's trying to rebound again. Like, it filled the gap all the way down. Actually, no, it didn't fill the gap. Something else filled the gap at the bottom. I think it's the oil futures itself. Let me go down here. There you go. Yeah, this one filled the gap at the bottom. Like, it had one right there, and it went all the way and filled it. All right. And this is another telltale sign that the markets could collapse, because they've been moving inversely of one another throughout the past 4 months. All right. So again, just have your eyes open. Be prepared to take advantage of the opportunities that the market is going to provide. All right. And if you're wrong, cut your losses quickly, minimize your risk, and live to trade another day. Sorry, so that's my honest thoughts on all of these stocks. That is the end of the video. Again, I am not your financial advisor. Do your own research and make your own decisions. All right. Don't forget to follow my social media at Patternology Lab on Instagram and on X. And lastly, don't forget to like and follow for more.